The Green Bay Packers are in the midst of a critical transformation, and the stakes have never been higher. As Green Bay fans, we've witnessed the team cultivate one of the youngest rosters in the NFL over the last few seasons, an approach that has shown both promise and peril. While the youthful exuberance and talent have allowed the Packers to reach the playoffs 3 consecutive years, it has also exposed a glaring weakness, a lack of experience when it matters most. This offseason, the Packers made strategic moves that could redefine their trajectory. The signings of linebacker Zaire Franklin and defensive tackle Javon Hargrave might not have made headlines in the way some blockbuster trades do, but their significance could be monumental. As star safety Xavier McKinney pointed out during OTAs, we have guys now that have a lot of experience, or more experience than we've had in the past. This is not just a throwaway comment. It reflects a calculated shift in the team's philosophy. For fans watching from home, I want to know, where are you tuning in from, and what do you think about these offseason moves? Are we on the right path? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The reality is that for 3 straight years, the Packers have fielded the NFL's youngest roster. This youth has brought a sense of optimism and excitement, but it has also led to critical failures in the postseason. Exiting in the wild card round for 2 consecutive years, despite an undeniably talented roster, has been a bitter pill to swallow for fans. This offseason felt different, however, as the Packers deliberately pursued veterans who can not only play but also lead. Bringing in Franklin via trade and Hargrave through free agency was a clear signal that the organization is serious about elevating its game. These players are not just additions. They are intended to be cornerstones of a new culture. Reports from OTAs reveal that Franklin has swiftly assumed the green dot role on defense, which means he's responsible for conveying plays from defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon to the rest of the unit. That's an immense responsibility, particularly for a defense that is looking to establish a new identity. Hargrave, on the other hand, has emerged as a calming presence along the defensive line, bringing invaluable leadership and stability to a crucial position group. McKinney's observations underscore the palpable difference these veterans have made already. I think you kind of see that with who we have now. I think it's going to be big for us just going throughout the year. This is an assessment worth taking seriously. It speaks volumes about how the Packers are viewing their current roster as they head into the 2026 season. It's clear that Green Bay believes it has enough youthful talent to compete at a high level. However, the missing ingredient may just have been the seasoned veterans who can navigate the pressures of high-stakes football, stabilize the locker room during challenging times, and lead by example. Hargrave's extensive postseason experience and Franklin's leadership from his time with the Colts are not to be overlooked. Moreover, the connection to Jonathan Gannon cannot be ignored. Both Franklin and Hargrave have played under Gannon before, and their familiarity with his defensive schemes is a strategic advantage. It's likely that this connection played a major role in the team's decision to pursue them. Not only do they align with Gannon's philosophy, but their presence can also help accelerate the learning curve for younger players still finding their footing. For a Packers defense that has struggled with consistency over the past 2 seasons, these additions could be transformative. If the defense can take a significant step forward in 2026, the signings of Franklin and Hargrave may be remembered not for their flashiness, but for the maturity, leadership, and experience they infuse into a young roster eager to contend for a championship. As we transition to our next topic, it's vital to keep in mind the implications of these moves. The Packers are not just building for the future, they are aiming to win now. The experience these veterans bring could very well be the difference between a playoff exit and a deep postseason run. The Green Bay Packers have made some strategic moves in free agency this offseason, albeit not quite as aggressively as in previous years. After a couple of seasons where they splashed the cash on high-profile players like Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, Aaron Banks, and Nate Hobbs, they had to adopt a more measured approach this time. The seismic deal for defensive end Micah Parsons, who received a contract extension that set the market ablaze, has prompted a shift in strategy. Yet, the Packers have still been active, bringing in veterans like Benjamin St. Just, Zaire Franklin, and Tyrod Taylor through various means. However, these acquisitions are on a smaller scale compared to their past forays into the free agent market. If the Packers want to leap from a wild card spot to the Super Bowl, the key lies in organic growth from within. The focus will undoubtedly be on the development of their promising young players, as their progress could determine whether Green Bay achieves Super Bowl glory or faces another disappointing season at 1265 Lombardi Avenue. One of the most intriguing developments this offseason is the return of Jordan Morgan, who is finally set to claim his rightful spot as the starting left tackle after 2 seasons of positional juggling. This is a pivotal moment not just for Morgan but for the entire Packers offense. The enthusiasm around him is palpable. Teammates and coaches alike are rallying behind him. Jordan Love, the quarterback, has openly praised Morgan's commitment to improving his game. JMO, since we got back, he's looked good. He's put in the work throughout the offseason, just working out, getting that strength right, Love remarked during OTAs. For Morgan, this is an opportunity to solidify his career after 2 years of struggles with injuries and position changes. While he's been a team player, he's made it clear that left tackle is where he believes he can excel. Yeah, for sure. I got in here expecting myself to play left tackle. It's just hard mentally when you're not good at it, Morgan admitted. His determination to improve at this crucial position is commendable, but the reality is stark. The Packers need him to deliver. Last season's left tackle play was a mixed bag, with Rasheed Walker showing flashes but ultimately underwhelming during his walk year. Morgan stepping into this role is critical. Even average play would be an upgrade. However, the situation becomes precarious with the addition of Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams defensive line. The Packers are set to face Garrett shortly before Thanksgiving. What looms larger than Morgan's performance, however, is the glaring absence of a solid backup plan. In previous seasons, the Packers had depth with players like Josh Nijman or Morgan himself stepping in when needed. Now, the options seem limited. Candidates like Darian Kinnard, Zach Tom, and Anthony Belton all have experience, but also come with their own set of question marks. If Morgan falters or faces injury, the Packers could be in a world of hurt, having to shift players around in a game of musical chairs. Turning the focus to another promising player, the excitement surrounding Matthew Golden's selection in the first round of the draft was palpable. However, that initial hype took a hit during his rookie season. Injuries and competition from veterans pushed Golden down the depth chart, and as the regular season ended, it looked like he would finish on a low note. Yet, he managed to turn it around in a critical playoff game against Chicago, scoring his first touchdown and showcasing his potential as a clutch player. With the departures of Romeo Dew and Dontavian Wicks, this offseason has provided Golden with an opportunity to step up as a significant contributor, aiming to fill the void left behind. Now in his second year, he has the chance to leverage his experience and take on a more substantial role in the offense, particularly behind Christian Watson and Jaden Reed. Golden himself has acknowledged the growth he has experienced, stating, "The playbook, it's slowed down a lot. Patience and understanding that everything is not going to happen on your time." There's a sense of optimism around him, and if he can harness his first-round talent effectively, he could transform into a vital cog in the Packers' offensive machine. The defensive side of the ball is also a topic of intrigue. Micah Parsons is set to start across from Lucas Van Ness, but the depth after them is uncertain at best. Without any significant outside additions on the horizon, the Packers are left to rely on a group of younger players: Brenton Cox, Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, and rookie fourth-round pick Danny Dennis-Sutton. The stakes are high, and the pressure is on for these players to step up and prove that they can hold their own in the NFL. As we dive deeper into the analysis of the Packers roster, the unfolding narrative will depend heavily on the performances of both Morgan and Golden, along with the development of their young defensive talents. The future seems bright, but the path to success is fraught with challenges. Next, we'll continue exploring how the Packers are preparing for the upcoming season and what it all means for their playoff aspirations.
In a stunning turn of events, the Green Bay Packers have made headlines by locking in Christian Watson with an eye-popping $110.5 million extension. This monumental deal not only marks a personal triumph for Watson, but also sets a new precedent for wide receiver contracts across the league. Fans, where are you watching from? Share your thoughts in the comments below about this groundbreaking move. This isn't just a contract. It's a clear statement from the Packers front office about their belief in Watson's abilities and future contributions. With a signing bonus of $31 million, this deal reflects a long-term commitment that extends over 4 years. The Packers are signaling that they see Watson as a cornerstone of their offense moving forward, and this level of investment shows just how highly they regard his potential. Watson's journey hasn't been without its challenges. He's had to battle through injuries to prove his worth. Yet, in doing so, he has emerged as one of the league's most promising receivers. The fact that this extension eclipses even the record-setting contracts of quarterbacks like Joe Burrow is not lost on anyone. It highlights a significant shift in the NFL landscape, where wide receivers are now commanding salaries that rival those of elite quarterbacks. The Packers have undoubtedly taken a calculated risk here. By tying their fortunes to Watson, they are banking on his continued development and, most importantly, his ability to maintain his health. The stakes are high. If Watson can stay on the field and deliver on his potential, he could transform into a top-tier receiver who drives the Packers' offensive success for years to come. From a fantasy football perspective, this contract sends a clear message. Christian Watson is a player to watch. With the Packers making him a priority target, owners can expect his numbers to spike in the upcoming season. For those drafting their fantasy teams, Watson's new deal positions him as a potential game-changer. Don't underestimate the impact he could have on your roster. Moreover, this contract has broader implications for the NFL. It sets a new benchmark for how wide receivers are valued in the modern game. If more receivers begin to command similar contracts, we could witness a significant realignment in salary cap strategies across the league, with teams investing more heavily in position players rather than solely focusing on quarterbacks. As we wrap up this discussion on Christian Watson's monumental extension, it's important to reflect on the larger picture for the Packers. This deal isn't just about a new contract, it's about a vision for the future. The front office's confidence in Watson suggests they believe he can be a game-changer, and fans should be excited about what this means for the team's offensive identity moving forward. So what's your take on this massive contract? Is it a step in the right direction for the Packers? Or do you have concerns about the risks involved? Comment below to let us know where you're watching from and your thoughts on this pivotal moment in Green Bay Packers history. And if you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to subscribe for more insights and updates on our beloved team. Together, let's keep the conversation going about the future of the Packers and our rising star, Christian Watson.